The company, which started with exciting flagship killers, is now better known for its humdrum budget phones rather than flagships, but the OnePlus 11 is finally a chance to 11 ships in a big red box with the words OnePlus and Hasselblad printed on the cap and the letters 11 beautifully engraved on it. Inside the box, you will find the following: phone with pre-applied screen protector, 100W charger with USB-A port, red OnePlus cable with USB-A to USB-C connection, see-through silicone case, stickers, SIM tool, user manuals. This is generous packaging for a 2023 phone, considering that most flagships these days don't even have a charger included in the box, let alone a case, so we appreciate OnePlus still packing all of those things in the box. The OnePlus 11 comes in one size only. It's a large phone, with a 6.7-inch screen size, but it is not quite as wide as, say, a Galaxy Ultra. The design is mostly similar to the OnePlus 10 Pro, glass back, aluminum frame, and you also have the familiar alert slider on the side, also known as the mute switch, which is super convenient. The power button and alert slider are on the right, volume buttons on the left. On the bottom, you have a USB-C port, only USB 2.0 speeds. The dual loudspeakers have gotten a welcome upgrade with dual submagnets and NLC low-frequency algorithm, all fancy words, but in reality audio quality is noticeably improved. The phone comes in two colors, a green one and a black model. The green features a smooth glass finish, while the black one has a new kind of coating which glimmers when light hits it at certain angles. While others have implemented the new E6 OLED panel, OnePlus falls behind with an older generation screen. OnePlus 11 preview: can this bring the OnePlus glory days back? You have a 6.7-inch OLED screen here, which is slightly tapered at the sides. The resolution is 1440p resolution for extra crispy detail, and it supports a dynamic refresh rate that goes from 1 Hz all the way up to 120 Hz, thanks to LTPO 3.0 technology. The 1 Hz option is great if you use the AOD, always on display, function, as it drains less power than before. OnePlus is not disclosing the panel technology, but unofficial sources say it uses the older Samsung E4 OLED panel, rather than the newer E6 panels. This is one slight compromise compared to other new 2023 phones, and it should result in screen color cast no quite as good as on the latest generation and lower peak brightness than higher-end 2023 flagships. First, let's break down the camera specs. 50MP main camera, Sony IMX890 sensor, f/1.8. 48MP ultrawide, Sony IMX581 sensor, f/2.2. 32MP 2x zoom, Sony IMX709 sensor, f/2.0, up to 20x digital zoom. 16MP front cam, ISOCELL 3P9, S5K 3P9 sensor. You get a 50MP main snapper, but interestingly, OnePlus seems to have opted for the Sony IMX890 sensor, which other phone makers use for the ultra-wide camera on their phones. It's certainly not in the same category as the 1-inch Sony IMX989 sensor used by Xiaomi and Vivo. The ultra-wide camera sensor is a 48MP one, and it can focus as close as 3.5 centimeters, so you can get 2x zoom lens, perfect for portrait shots. In the camera app, you get 1x and 2x portrait modes. 1x is actually a simulation of a 3.5/30mm Hasselblad XCD lens, and the 2x mimics a 2.8/65mm Hasselblad XCD lens with cool swirly bokeh. OnePlus doesn't have a great camera reputation, but it sure has impressed us with its relentless focus on performance and speed. The OnePlus 11 builds up on that foundation of speed. It has the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, a processor that might go down in history as one of Qualcomm's best. Not only that, if you opt for the beefed-up versions, you can get the OnePlus 11 with as much as 16 GB of RAM, which gives it the kind of performance you could only get out of, say, an Asus ROG phone. All of this is cooled by a large graphite heat sink, which helps in gaming. The phone is also very well optimized for gamers. You can play more than 100 mainstream games at 120 frames, with higher resolution and HDR game quality beyond the native quality settings. Additionally, you have what OnePlus calls HyperBoost 2.0 game frame stabilization engine, which ensures high and stable frame rates in games. The OnePlus 11 will not be sold on US carriers, but you will be able to buy at big box retailers and Amazon with compatible 5G bands for the US market. It is also a dual SIM, dual active phone that can either have two 5G SIMs or one 5G SIM card and one 4G SIM card. It also supports eSIM. International models will support different bands, as usual. The Chinese model of the OnePlus 11, which launched a couple of months earlier, has different software and different cellular bands, so if you are buying from some less-known store, make sure you get the right model for your market. The OnePlus 11 battery comes in at a 5,000 mAh capacity, which has become the de facto standard amongst large-sized Android flagship phones. You get 80W max charging speeds, 100W if you live outside the US, which a neat upgrade from the 10 Pro. We have the 100W version and we measured the following charging speeds: 17 minutes to 65%, 27 minutes to 100%. The global version charges slightly faster than that, but still that's super impressive. OnePlus promises that despite those fast charging speeds, there will be no quick degradation of the battery health, and a battery should last around 4 years before it's due for replacement, which the company estimates is twice as long as competitors. This charging speed is not quite a world record. This is currently held by Xiaomi and its 210W charging system, full charge in under 10 minutes. However, this will be one of the fastest charging phone that will come to the US market, so it's definitely worth noting.